On other, excuse me, on the other topics we're talking about here, I wanted to get your views on the Olise situation. Obviously, he's linked to Man United. Chelsea fans are really confident. Where do you see him going, Cam?
Probably Chelsea. But like, here's the deal. Like you said, I wouldn't be like, I'm upset because I wanted the player, but like we've gotten to a place where it's so boring now. You lose out on a player and everyone's like, you lost. Like, look with Michael Olise, Chelsea was laughing, and then who really got the last laugh? You don't really know. I think I don't think it has anything to do with the manager. I think and I stand by this. If Chelsea beat us to him, it'll be they offered to pay more in the release clause probably. So we'll find out that the fee was paid more, and we're going to find out that his salary is probably going to be around 240, something that we would have never offered. That's why I think he'll choose Chelsea. I do not think he's going to choose Chelsea for footballing reasons, because let's just be honest. When we look at Chelsea's team right now, the fight to hold down that right-hand side is going to be much more difficult. The fact that, again, when you look at the dysfunction at both clubs, Chelsea is more dysfunctional at the moment, which is crazy to say. So I think with what we're doing and how it's been very clear that we're trying to manage our wage structure better. We're trying to not be a team that just pays above odds. It's why we let go of Varane and doing a lot of dumb stuff, whatever it might be. I think he's going to go to Chelsea for those reasons. And again, I know it seems like a cop-out where people are like, oh, you always say it, but it's like until Chelsea wins a bidding war where they didn't have to pay a lot of money or more than the other team were offering, I won't really believe in their footballing project, because they're not winning anything. If you said, hey, like, both teams are in shambles, but guess what? United's won 2 trophies in the last 2 years. Chelsea, what have you done? It's if you say, hey, Olise, go look at the United front line. Do you think you're starting every single game? Probably. Unfortunately, he's going to knock Garnacho down. Garnacho probably goes to the left, or they have to fight for it. Or Ahmad, whoever it is, he's better than all three of those guys. So project being built. He might not believe in our project. Maybe he believes in Chelsea's more, but in the Chelsea project right now. That's all I'm saying. It's hard. Like, as a fan watching, I don't know how anybody could be like, yeah, they're doing a great job over there. Doesn't make sense. So anyway, I think he's going to go to Chelsea, but I had to give you a bunch of caveats there because I don't think
I get you. Fairs, like, what's your take on it? Do you feel like Man United got a good chance in this, or did he seem to? I mean, the Chelsea sources and a lot of Chelsea journalists are saying they are very, very confident of getting this deal done.
I think we could have. I think we still have a good chance because we've been talking with Olise for a long time based on all the reports. I'm with Cam. I think he's going to Chelsea because, again, Chelsea do Chelsea things. Is it the best move for him? I don't think so. I think he, just like with again, so many players who came last year, Enzo Fernandez and Mudryk, and again the list goes on and on. All these young players, they went to Chelsea for these 8-year contracts and these high wages. And again, the money might look better, but again, I feel he's going to Chelsea. I think he would start with. I think his better option is with United, honestly, because I think he would start with us. He's a starter at our team. I think he'll start with our team no matter what. We still have a chance, of course, but again, I don't see him coming to United. I see Chelsea more likely. I do have a question to ask. Can Chelsea still give those long-term contracts, or they can't do that anymore? The 6 to 8 year contracts, or they?
They're in the UEFA competition, so no,
they can pull out, but they can. So Terry, they can actually optionally pull out. And they would be allowed to pull out of the Conference League. And the reason why they would do that is so they can continue to circumvent
I don't think Chelsea fans would accept them pulling out.
I don't think they would either, but I think that is something they can do. It is I read it is fully, it's a doable thing. I don't think they will, but that would be hilarious if they did. A lot of people are saying, are chirping saying, oh, Mount's on $250K a week and Martial. It's like, those guys were paid by the regime before. That is exactly my point. Like, I don't think we are going to be doing that moving forward. I don't think we'll see a player, and it sucks that Mount might be the last high wage player that we're going to have on our team, but like, that makes no sense. I don't think we're going to do that anymore. I think it's been pretty clear if you look at the players we're going after, and even though the Brathwaite thing that came out real quick and then we deaded it as soon as it was like 70 million, we're like, we're out. In the past, it would have been like, ooh, United's still really interested at that price, and then we're in a bidding war. I think we'll see a different I think the structure will work in that sense this year.
So no more Neves then? No more Neves, you think?
So that one's different. That one's different. That one, when you think about what we've been saying we want to do and what our plans are, is like youth, no Galacticos. He's not a Galactico. He's a really good player, but he's not a Galactico. He's like, you got to think about the Portuguese connection. I think if there's any player, this is hope, by the way. If any player you spend 100 million on, it's him. But I don't think
the thing is the transfer fee isn't the issue; it's wages. The wages eat into a club's expenditure far more than transfer fees do. So it's okay dropping £80 million on a supremely. If you look at Mainu this last year, if somebody went, if he has one more year of doing that, Neves has been doing it for a couple of seasons as an example. If Mainu has 2 years of doing that, but wasn't a Man United player, was playing at a sort of a medium-sized club. How much would Real Madrid and these clubs come in and pay for him? They pay a lot of money, as they did for the Tchouaménis and the Camavingas, etc. So I've got no issue with dropping £80 million on a wonder kid. I really haven't, but it's the wages. What you can't be doing is bringing him in at 19 years of age and paying him 400 grand a week, because you can spoil the player. But also you set a precedent, and then everybody's on that kind of money. And then before you know it, you are hemorrhaging tens of millions of pounds on wages. And that hurts you a lot more than the transfer fees. You've got to get that balance right. Coffee here says, bro, I think this is to Cam. Bro, what are you talking about? We've got a wage cap. We didn't pay more than 150K. So if he chooses Chelsea, he just wants to join Chelsea.
You just paid Tosin 160K, reported. Like literally reported that Tosin, I can't say his last name, is on 160K a week.
I would say that's a little different because he came for free.
Oh no, I don't care. No, but this kid's point is that they have a wage cap, so they don't pay more than 150. No, if you have a true wage cap, which they, I'm sorry, that I get your point. It makes
people say they have a wage cap, but so I'm just trying to work out the players. Is that, it must be a new thing, because Wesley forget Raheem Sterling. Was Raheem Sterling bought by Bowley and Co?
Yeah.
No, he was bought the year before, I think. No, he was bought the year before, I think.
Was he?
But I think so. But I'm only looking at one website here. Fofana, Ben Chilwell, and Cuckoo's on 195,000. Enzo Fernandez on 180,000. Cucurella 175,000. And then it's that and below. Maybe it's a new thing that's come in. What I would say to this, and I do defend the point, they have got a cap. But as Ben Jacobs, who's very close to Chelsea, has said, they have very heavily incentivized contracts, like Liverpool were doing under FSG. So if you see Chelsea start to win trophies, qualify for the Champions League, the wage bill will grow massively. So if you look at Liverpool's wage bill in seasons where they won big trophies versus not winning trophies, the difference was hundreds of millions of pounds in totality. So it sounds like Chelsea are doing something similar to that. And for some players, they're up for that because, I can earn 200 grand here. I'll take 150 here. But if we win an FA Cup, we win a European trophy, the bonuses I get make it a 300 grand a week contract. So there's a little bit of that in relation to that.
Just to confirm, the Todd Bowley, they bought Chelsea before they got Sterling by a few months. They bought Chelsea in May 2022. Sterling went to Chelsea in July 2022. So, yeah, it was under Todd Bowley.
Okay. Right. I hear you. Tossing wages at Chelsea. A lot of people are saying he's on 80K. So I Googled it. The first website that came up for me said he's on 100K. ChelseaNews.com says 100K. This Twitter account says 5-year deal, 140K. I've seen so many different reports. Literally, I mean, I've only gone on Google and looked at it. So, yeah, it's interesting to see how much he's on here. I'll have to wait and see. But, yeah, Chelsea fans, a genuine question. So when looking at this website, and I'm going to go on a different one and check I'm going to go on to Sports Rec and see what they say players are earning. I like to check out multiple sources. Obviously, Lukaku was signed prior. Pretty similar. Yeah, they've got Nkunku 100. So is this a wage cap a new thing? Because Nkunku was signed last summer and he's on 195K. So the idea that he's paid, like that cap must have come in during the season, right? Yeah. Must have done. Because Enzo's on more than that. Fofana's on David. It says here that David Fofana is on 200 grand a week. That can't be true. This is the website, not me. David Fofana on 200 grand a week. Wesley Fofana on 200 grand a week. Ben Chilwell was definitely there before Todd Bowley and Co. So he's on higher. Raheem Sterling's on 325. But that's also what's interesting as well. How are Chelsea going to sign Raheem Sterling as players? It's in maybe someone who's 26, really established, and not pay them more than 150 grand a week if they're already earning 200 grand a week. Someone here says that's not correct. Yeah, I reckon it's a typo with the David Fofana one. That
I'm
can't. They must
seeing
have
from a bunch of sites, and it's not including bonuses, like 150 euro, 160 euros. So pounds, that comes down. I don't know the conversion as quickly as you probably would. He's apparently will earn 32 million euros. Well, 33 if you round up euros for the whole year, excluding bonuses. So it's
127,000
excluding bonuses. So
excluding bonuses, yeah.
So like that, like for me, again, I don't know this player. I'm not like a huge, like I never, even when he was linked with Man United, I didn't say I want the player. I didn't say I didn't want him. I was like, oh, cool. That's a lot for an unknown, in my opinion. Like that's like 127K. That's you are in the 11. Like you're going to be playing there and thereabouts. You're in the squad. You may not be every game starter, but you are in the squad. So I'm just going to guess that Olise is going to get a pretty solid contract. Not saying he shouldn't, not saying we shouldn't pay it either. That's what people need to understand. I wouldn't be mad if we paid Olise, I don't know, like 200K a week, because I think he's probably worth that at his age and his experience. I don't know what the club will do that. So it's kind of like, I've come to terms and grips. I'm just like you in this situation, Terry. Like we've all been asking for structure, change what we're doing. I can't get mad if we start doing things differently. I can't be like, well, we're not paying high wages anymore to win. We're not doing like to win transfer battles. We're not paying above the odds. I can't get mad because I'm like, that's what I was mad about before. So
here's the thing about that. We're going to fire a lot of workers who barely make 30,000 grand, like 30,000 pounds a year. So I mean, I don't think the club are going to overspend on these huge players. If we're worried about these workers who are making like so little money, I mean, I find it hard for us, like you're saying, to overpay on the superstars on the team, to be honest. That's why.
Yes and no to that. It's all about delivery. I mean, most businesses operate in this way. I would essentially, if you come to me with a plan, even for my little business in comparison, and you show me that you want X salary, whatever it is, you want 100 grand a year. But if you can show me that you can make me 2 times, 3 times, 4 times that amount of money, then I'll pay you that salary. Like, yeah, great, because I'm making a profit on it. The problem is with a lot of those lower paid jobs at Man United, in my opinion, and I'm not surprised because most poorly run organizations have this, they become, Elon Musk did it when he went into Twitter. Whether people like Twitter more now or not is irrelevant. It's a far more profitable business. He went in and he just said there was hundreds of staff members that didn't do anything. And I think Man United, I think that Radcliffe and co have turned up and there's people there on 20 grand, 30 grand, 40 grand a year. And yes, you want the world employed. I don't want to see people with no job, but they have to be doing a job. They can't just be in there like, because I've seen, listen, some of those tech companies in LA, like these people don't work. They turn up. It's like a social club they get paid to be at. It's crazy. So yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if that's how Man United was, with how poorly we've been run, where people were just doing no work. And as much as I never want to see anyone lose their jobs, if you're making an organization money, you typically speaking, don't lose your job. If you're profitable for a company, typically speaking, you don't lose your job. Typically speaking. We have some super chats here. First one says, our wage structure has changed, not high wages anymore. And if he doesn't want competition, then why would you want him in your team, is what Seth says. Thank you, Seth. Boys, why are you lying about Chelsea's wage structure? Most of the players earn less than 150K. Chelsea is so misunderstood. Cam, you sound salty. So salty about a team that finished above you. Chelsea's project up and ready to go. Olise, not the type of player to go for money. Cry more.
We're in Europa and won the FA Cup. Why would I be salty? I don't care if we finished 8th. Here's something that's happened in the past. Remember all the times when teams said, oh, we're not going to care about X tournament or X trophy, so we're going to try harder than the other. Oh, let me flip it on you idiots. We just tried hard in the FA Cup, went on and won that. We saw better reps, the Europa. There. I really do not care that we finished 8th or 5th. What I care about is we won an FA Cup this year.
And don't forget, Chelsea haven't qualified properly. They haven't qualified yet for it. They have to play the qualifiers first.
I miss the days of me going at Chelsea. Like, it's going to be fun this season because now it's like we're back kind of on the same level. And I can, like, before it was tough because Chelsea was doing well and it was hard. And now I can literally I can dump on Chelsea again and it's going to be great for the next few years. I'm excited. I fucking hate Chelsea fans so much. Like, there's like, as much as like I hate Liverpool as a team and I see City as rivals and Arsenal are for me the biggest rivals because I grew up watching that rivalry. I hate the Chelsea fan base more than any, and I'm looking forward to just smoking.
When do Chelsea's? I'm asking this to the Chelsea fans. When did your qualification situation start? Because the first qualifying round of the Conference League starts on. This is mad, right? They won't be in this one, but the first round, the draws on the 18th of June. The first game in the UEFA Conference League is on the 11th of July. The second round of qualifying starts on the 25th of July. And then you've got the 8th, and then you've got the 22nd. Surely, because they're from the... I don't want to sound like elitist, but because they're from the Premier League, surely they're in the playoff round, which is like the 22nd of June. Because the last thing Chelsea do need is starting their season in like the middle of July. You can't be having that. Do you get what I mean? That will... Because that does hurt you later on, because you don't have a proper preseason. It helps you in the beginning sometimes because you actually sharper than other teams because you're playing competitive games, but you burn out generally a lot sooner. Is it 22nd of August? It is 22nd of August. I thought it would be. Yeah. Surely they're not going to make a Premier League team do first, second, or third round of qualifying, but that's how the Champions League used. Back in that, you came fourth. You used to have to you had early qualifications, then the playoff before you were in it. That was more fun, actually. I remember, I swear it was Spurs. They qualified fourth and then got knocked out. And Everton did the same. They didn't actually qualify for the Champions League. They lost in the playoffs. Crazy.